Hey, what's up, everyone? Mike here in the BFH Garage. The struggles of the BFH Garage continue. I rolled my Jeep on April 1st, and I've been in the market to find a new one since. But every Jeeper out there thinks that their rig is made of gold, and these things are not cheap by any means. I've went and looked at a few different rigs, priced in that right range. You get there and there's either frame rot or it's not what they described. I had it beat on a Rubicon, but it was, a 3.5 hour drive away, and that's just too far to drive on a chance. So I'm going to look at one now. It's a 98 TJ, and it's got a hard top, hard doors, has a Dana 44 rear axle. Everything is looking good. I just need to go check it out, so I thought I'd take you along so you can see all this stuff works. Because what looks good in a picture isn't always good when you get there. So you just got to pay attention for stuff like that, walk through it all, and make sure it's in good shape. This one here should be a good buy. We'll see when I get there. He has it listed right now at $5,200, which I think for a TJ is dirt cheap. It's got 210,000 miles, so I could probably anticipate a motor rebuild, but because how cheap this Jeep is, I think that that's reasonable. So, because I could part out the doors, the hard top, and the Dana 44 axle, and then make a lot of that money back. So, let's go take a look, see what we find out. All right, I'm coming to take a look at this Jeep now. Looks promising. We'll see. All right, so the deal on this Jeep that I'm looking at right here, it ends up having a salvage title. There's not hardly any rust on it, so I like that. Has a Dana 44 axle, has hard top, hard doors. I'm going to sell all of those, make a lot of money back. So with it being salvage title, that driver's side front fender's kind of jacked up. The hood doesn't quite close all the way. The tailgate is from a different Jeep that got put on there. This thing is a piece of crap, and it's perfect for me. So this is gonna be my new piece of crap. We negotiated, originally had it listed at $5,200, which I thought was good. Once I got here and saw the condition, I realized that definitely not worth that. So we negotiated, I offered him $3,800, and we settled at $3,850. And took for a test drive, everything checks out just fine. It's got a check engine light, all that stuff I'm not worried about because I'm gonna fix everything and I'll be fine. So anyway, the BFH Garage is back in business. A little bit windy, so hopefully you can hear me here. If you see behind me here, you are going to see the Jeep that I just purchased. Let's go do a walk around, and I'll tell you why I chose this over several others that I looked at, including a Rubicon version. So let's go take a look. All right, let's walk up to this thing and see what we have here. On the outside, it looks like a pretty decent Jeep, but I'm going to tell you what, this thing's beat up. It's got a lot of miles. It's at 220,000 miles, which I'm fine with. But you're going to notice certain things. Right along here, you're going to see the hood line doesn't match up very well. You're going to notice over here that the hood's all dented up. You come here to the grill, you're going to see some red paint, which tells me this grill was pulled off of something else. Over here, the fender's beat up. So I talked to the owner, and yes, this has been in an accident. I looked it over pretty good. I'm okay with the shape that it's in. Almost looks like what I currently have, but I'm okay with that. Anyway, as we move around, the thing I like about it, there's a lot of pluses on this. Full hard doors, hard top, and it has a rear Dana 44 axle. I sell all three of those, and I make back almost what I paid for the entire Jeep, and that's worth it right there in and of itself, because now I have a new platform that I can build, and I'm good with that. So, looking at this whole thing here, they originally had it listed at 52. I get there, find out that they had a salvage title and all that, and like I said, I'm okay with that as long as the structure is in good shape, which it is. And I ended up negotiating down to $3,850. So for me to do this is a no-brainer. It just saves me a ton of money. I could have got a lot of nicer other Jeeps, but as you well know, the way I off-road and things like that, I don't care about paint that is pristine. I don't care about soft tops that are in perfect condition. I don't care about all these aftermarket parts that I'm going to have to resell. I don't have to worry about it being abused. This thing's never been off-road. Looking underneath, there's very, very minimal rust. It's a typical Colorado Jeep, so everything is in fairly good shape. Those front fenders are coming off, the hood's coming off. We're going to rework this thing, and I'm going to salvage parts off of the old Jeep here. This thing's sitting there just pouting like crazy right now, but I'm going to get parts off of that, swap them over. I'm going to pull a bunch of stuff off of this thing and sell them and help recover some of that cost. So as everyone knows, a big part of my philosophy is to build as cheap as possible. I'm not looking to spend all this money on all these parts that may or may not be good. I want to make it right for what I do, and I don't give a crap what anybody else thinks. It's going to do what I do, and I'm okay with that. Looking at these tires down here, tires are in almost brand new condition, so I'll be able to sell those, make a little bit of money back as well. Now, the downside is the inside of this thing is filthy. The guy, they used it as a little delivery type vehicle for breads and stuff like that, so it smells like bread in there. So once I get the top and doors off and let it air out, I'll get rid of those seats and swap my other ones in there. Then we'll be back to being in good shape there. So ultimately, this is a great Jeep for what I am doing at the right price. I can swap a bunch of stuff over, and in the long run, it's going to be far cheaper than getting something really, really nice and having to sell off everything. And then again, I'm paying a premium for nice stuff that's just going to get beat up anyway, so I really don't give a crap about that part of it. My guess is by the time I'm done with this Jeep's not going to be blue anymore. I don't really have any plans. I just know that things are going to change with this thing. It's going to take a little bit of time. So for me right now, the next big step is going to be getting this up on the rack, kind of giving it a good look over. I'm going to decide whether or not I need to replace that motor. It feels okay. But it's, like I said, 220,000 miles. It probably has a long way to go. So if I don't have to replace it, I won't. But if I do, I will. I'm fine with that. But, a lot of work to do with this to get everything up and running. So stay tuned. A lot of work to be done. We're going to see what happens with this. And if you guys have any suggestions or questions, feel free to post them down below in the comments. But in the meantime, this is what I'm going to work with, unless I find something completely way out of whack that's a non-starter. If I get under there in the frame, maybe I missed something, then what I'll do is I'll just end up parting it out and finding a different rig. But right now I'm fairly confident this is going to work for my needs.